Today's Saturday, August 26th. And today's the day I got a few bows that we're going to back. This one here is a 60-inch fire hardened hickory bow it's very thin design, has a 6.5-inch riser because I like shooting with a handle, and from the fade outs to the tip is 27 inches. And like I explained earlier in the video, what I did was, instead of having a short horse bow that you can't draw back to anchor, putting a riser in the middle separates those limbs that would normally be like a 54-inch horse bow. It separates them, allows me to have a gentler string angle and more draw to achieve what I want. It's very narrow, 1.25 inches. From 7 inches down, it's 3/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch tips. And what we have today is we have deer leg sinew that has been processed. We have processed deer leg sinew, and it's softer and more subtle than the backstrap sinew that I had from the elk. The last two bows I sinewed with elk backstrap sinew, and it feels a little stiffer, a little more, I don't know, like rope-like, okay? And, you know, I have a bag of that for a later date. And I made the last two bows, and it's nice, but it's a lot of texture. This here is deer leg sinew, and it's softer. And what I did was I separated them, and I just went around like this just to make them like kind of like bundles. And what we're going to do is we're going to soak these in water, rinse them out, dunk them in the Knox gelatin. We have Knox gelatin that I'm going to mix and make it syrupy. And after I have, once I get that Knox gelatin mixed, I'm going to put it on the back of the bow that I had already scuffed with 36 grit sanding disc. Okay, the whole bow's been scuffed. Okay, and we're going to break these apart. Okay, and we're going to dip them in the Knox gelatin and lay them down and roll them out. We're going to start with a center line, work on the sides. That's the plan. I mixed 5 packs of this Knox gelatin in cold water, mixed it up good. I have hot water. It's kind of floating in hot water, and it's got a nice consistency. We're going to put this on the back of the bow. Hopefully the back of the bow is thirsty, and it's going to drink some of this up. Put some glue on here, like when I do the rawhide. You'll see me do rawhide in another video coming up. Here we go. Putting some of this on the back of the bow. The back of the bow is the part that's away from you. Okay, I got a little, this is all cleaned up with water, by the way. I'm going to wipe the edges here, make sure there's not too much. We're going to try and keep it reasonable, even though it's a very messy process. Okay, here we go. We got some rawhide. We have some deer leg sinew that's processed that we're going to put in water. A couple of bundles here. Okay, we're going to let it soak for just a little bit. It don't take long, okay? And then somebody told me, instead of like combing it, it was on one of the videos, trying to think who it was, and I can't name it, but you know who you are. You kind of just, if you just lay it in and pull it through the water, I think it was Jesse Ross, if I'm saying his name correctly. Let me get a scissor. Okay, if you just take it and pull it through, I'm going to trim off some hard pieces in the end. Okay, if you just take it and pull it through, it looks pretty good, pretty flat and reasonable. Okay, just lay it down here. We're going to get a couple of bundles ready. So we can just lay it out, dip it in the glue and lay it out. I got plenty of this gelatin in case I mess up, or it gets, but I believe you could just reheat it and get it liquidy again. Okay, I'm going to take it out of the hot water a little bit here. So a couple of little hot clumps, a couple of hard clumps that are in there. And like I said, when you pull it through the water, it kind of levels out nice. Okay, no twist, it levels out nice. I'm going to stop this here because my hands are still clean. They really don't have glue because I dipped them in the water. And I'm going to get these bundles ready to lay out, and then we'll get back. Hide glue is starting to thicken up, so I put it in a tray of hot water again. It's floating in a tray of hot water. Going to make sure we got this covered good again. And we're going to take a nice thick bundle here. And we're going to take this bundle and run it through this gelatin, the Knox gelatin. And if you can see what I'm doing, I'm sort of squeegeeing out with my hand. And we're going to start in the middle here, right a riser with this thick piece. And this is really a little bit easier to work with than the backstrap sinew. Okay, we're going to get another bundle. I'm going to put one on each side. I'm hoping I have enough. This is 4 ounces, two 2-ounce bags, processed sinew. Something tells me I should have had one more. This one here looks a little, this piece of tendon looks a little thick, a little out of place. Okay, and we're going to overlap it and run it into each other with this Knox gelatin. We're going to try and get them to blend, interlock, overlap. Okay, we're going to get another one. I got to get the scissor and trim this one off, so I'm just going to put it on the side. I have plenty of Knox gelatin. I'm going to overlap it, interlock it. Apparently in the Bowyer's Bible somewhere it says that actually if you just ran the sinew straight down the center of the bow, it would be enough to support the back. But we got to make it look neat and nice and get it to blend together. Like I said, that's just hot tap water floating on. This is floating on the hot. We have very hot water in this house. So I was having my doubts that this wasn't going to be enough. But as I'm looking at it, it's good. It's going to be good. And because it's a little thinner limb design, okay, it's a little thinner limb design. I'm not looking so much for the poundage. It's pretty thick. I'm looking for it to hold up that back. Yes, sir. We're going to have enough. We're going to have enough here. The only thing I could see myself doing possibly is, let me get these scissors, is making some more Knox gelatin. Right up to the tip, right up to the tip there. That's beautiful. I'll wrap it around there. I cut the string grooves in, by the way. I cut the string grooves in, and I figure it'll be easier to trim it out, cut the string grooves when this dries in 6 months, if they're already there. It's okay that it overhangs. I'd rather it overhang. Okay. Very wide, weird piece. Okay, we're going to get a nice strip here. Add a few more. And we're going to add it over here and down. Beautiful. This limb is pretty much done, other than me rolling it flat a little bit and laying it out. Just so you know, I have this cutout for this clamp, and there is a piece of cardboard on the floor underneath this to catch the glue. Okay, we got a nice big wide piece here to go next. Leave that there for now. We're going to put this down by the thin tip. Wrap it around. Maybe we'll trim it a little bit. Okay, get a nice bundle over here to continue down. Once I get this on, then I'm going to take my time and try and make it appear a little neater. They say they roll it down, like with a roller sometimes. I'm going to use my finger. If that don't work, I'm going to use a pencil. Here we go. This is going to, once I get this prepped and wipe the edges, it's going to go sit inside. And it's going to sit inside for 6 months. If we've got some smaller pieces, we're just going to go look and see where we got to fill in and cover. And then it's a matter of, I'm just going to take my hand and we're going to smooth it out. Make sure there's no pieces that are like cross pieces, that they're a little straighter, almost like combing them out. Getting them to run through nice and smooth. And this is a smoother finish than the oak backstrap sinew. It's just a smoother material. It's more soft and subtle. And what I'm going to do is just stop it here so I don't drive you crazy. And I'm going to just make the layers nice and smooth, straighten them out a little better, and then I'll get back to you. Mixed up a little more fresh hide glue. Just going to wipe it down on the top. So this is the first time that I used the Knox gelatin, and it worked out good. I actually think that I like this Knox gelatin better than I do than the Titebond hide glue. And the other thing I like too is the the leg tendon sinew over backstrap sinew. Of course, it's softer, it's more subtle, supple. It's like, how can I explain it? Like soft rope versus like braided fishing line compared to the other. And it goes down nice. And then what I did was I took some time and filled in some spots. It's overhanging a little. I'd rather have it overhanging a little bit than, because it may shrink up and go over the edge. And this is another glue that you just have to get a little hot water, a little heat, get it to liquefy again. You're able to add more sinew to it. But I'm going to leave it. It's going to dry up a little, and I'm going to wrap it with some gauze so it don't pull up, because as you saw with the other ones, they as they dried, they reflexed. They put a little more back set in the bow. As it dried, it pulled closer. So I'm very happy with it. I'm going to give you a quick look at what it looks like. And I'm not an expert. It may look a little sloppy, but keep in mind that this is going to be sanded too, and you can always add more later. I'm going to stop it, show you, and then put it in its final drying place. Here we are from the riser, overlapping all the way down to the left side where the tip is, and from the riser overlapping all the way down to the right side where the tip is. We have plenty of sinew, and I'm able to sand it, take it down, and I think it's going to be nice. Once I feel it's dry enough that the gauze is not going to stick to it and cause a problem, I will wrap it to keep it from pulling up as it's drying. Okay, we're going to wrap this now. It still may adhere, but I'm trying to go up on the edge and kind of down. I don't want to pull it, and I could sort of like feel it. I'm not pulling it super tight at this point. I just want to maintain that pressure. Put my hand on top just to make sure. I'm going to wrap it, and this way it ensures that as it's drying, it don't pull off the wood. Okay. So far, this is looking really good. I'm really happy with this. Now I've seen, this is a 6-month or so drying process, and I've seen guys after a short period of time are reassessing it, taking off the wrap to look at it. This way, in case they have to add sinew or whatever, it's not, wasting another 6 months. Okay. Try to wipe this extra off the riser there, but don't forget, when we're done, when this is done, what we're going to do is, when this is done, we're going to sand it. Okay, I'm just going to wrap this here like this and put it back in. I just want to make sure that this is, and I have more of this gauze, and what I may do as I'm pushing it down now, okay, just let it set up with this little bit of pressure, and then I may wrap it tighter later. Put another gauze right over it and really give it something to hold it together. And like I said, I like this so far, this Knox Gelatin, and I'm only a beginner. You know, it was recommended to me in one of my comments to try it. And I listen to people because I know he makes bows, and I appreciate your comments because I really like it. Okay, I'm going to leave this here for a minute while I unwrap another roll of gauze and continue to wrap. I'll start back here a little bit. And by overwrapping this, it won't unravel where I stopped. Okay, I have a little of this left from the last time, and this kind of sticks to itself. So we're just going to take some of this, put it over here by the tip. And we're done. That's it. Okay, and what I'm going to do now, just to make sure that it's pushed on the sides, I'm just going down the center, pushing it down. Making sure everything else adheres. Okay, this bow is going to its resting place next to the other two sinew back bows for a 6-month dry time or so. And that's the end of this video. And I appreciate your comments. The gelatin, the Knox Gelatin, I really like working with that. A lot better than, obviously, the Type-On 3 I didn't like. The Type-On hide glue worked well, but I think this seems to be better, this Knox Gelatin right now. So that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. See you at the next point in time with these. Here it is with the other two sinew back bows. And a little later, I'm going to wrap it tighter with another gauze wrap.